My name's Alex Rodriguez, reminding you, you don't need a contract, you need a team of pros.
My light's not on. Hey, what's up, folks? Alex with Bay Cities Construction here. Welcome to another episode of the Construction Show, episode 22, folks. Hey, so today we're reviewing faucets, and we're going to start doing more product reviews because I think it's part of a good construction education for those of you following us on our channels. So today we're going to do a unboxing of a few different faucets. We're also going to recap a little bit about our show last week, and we're also going to what is this? Oh, for those of you that didn't catch the replay last week of Aaron B. Duke, I want you guys to go over there and we've been able to post the whole thing. We had a little bit of technical issues during the show. We lost the stream and stuff, so we were able to put the whole show together. It's a really cool episode if you're interested in interior design. Aaron B. Duke is a very talented designer, and we were very lucky to have him here at the offices for the show. So don't forget, you can watch us on Facebook, and the replays are always on YouTube as well. So this is episode 22. Aaron's episode, if you're looking for it in the search, is episode 21, Interior Design with Aaron Duke. We're also going to talk about the four faucets, and I've got kind of a little secret update from a previous show. So we're going to talk about the Moen Caldwell faucet, the Kohler, and we're going to talk about some really cool tips and tricks for choosing the perfect faucet. So let's start off with the bucket test. The bucket test is a flooring test that we did several weeks ago. I think it's almost over a month now, where we put in a piece of laminate into a bucket of water to see what would happen, right? So I happen to have that bucket of water here. So now it's actually been 2 months. Thanks for that, Brian, for that update. So here is the bucket that's in the picture, and this laminate's been in there for a while. By the way, for those of you who don't know, that show is going to be, it's linked on there. We'll post a reference number, which episode it was. So let's see what's happened with this bucket, with the water bucket. Okay, so we got a water stain. 2 months you get a water stain, and then the rear, you've got a little water stain there too. Let me get this out of the way. So this piece of laminate. Now, by the way, this is the Cascade series waterproof laminate. Okay, there's a whole episode and stuff on it. Really zero damage, man. This is really truly waterproof. Now there's another piece here, a little bit bigger piece. This is the wider plank. We did have a little separation of the rubber base, but no damage at all. No damage at all to the plank itself. Okay, so 2 months in water, that's pretty cool. I think Brian can throw this thing out now. The test is officially over for the Urban Floors waterproof laminate. It's 100% waterproof. You've seen it here tested at Bay Cities Construction. Okay, so we're definitely, if you're looking in the market for laminate flooring, if you got some pets, you got maybe some rental units, and you want a floor that's bomb-proof, you should consider Urban Floors Cascade series. And we're going to post a link to that episode below. All right, so for today, we are talking about faucets. We're going to give a little quick product review, and we're going to start off with the Moen Caldwell faucet. Moen is a very reputable company, been around for a long time. I would say probably over the last probably over the last 12, 15 years, it's a very common carried brand in the big box retailers like Home Depot and Lowe's. And it's been considered kind of a low budget, a value faucet. So they over the last, probably over the last 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, they've really kind of stepped up their game. And I've got a sample here for you. This is the Moen Caldwell in nickel, and there's a couple of cool things about this faucet that we're going to get into. So this is the model number for those of you that are curious. Now this is a 3-hole mount. Now there's a difference. The 3-hole mount is typically considered, has always been considered, a more upscale faucet, right? Like the ones that have a narrow base, they're like about yay wide. Those are, you know, really considered value, cheap faucets. Okay, anything under like $70. So here's the Moen unboxed. So for those of you that have seen this little thing, it's a key. Don't lose this, okay? I give this to the customer and they lose it within a week, typically speaking. Or one of my guys gets a hold of this while we're just shortly after we installed it and tosses it. I'll show you what that's all about. So this unit is in the brushed nickel. Really a nice looking faucet. And they call this a low maintenance finish because you can't put fingerprints on it. I mean, I would imagine you have to have really greasy, nasty hands to be able to put your fingerprints on it. So it comes in with a 1/2-inch connection. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So it's got that spot resistant coating, and this little key here goes right here. In the event you get a clog, right? You get a clog because California's got some really dirty, funky water. Now, for those of you that have a full filtering system for your house, you don't have to worry so much about this. But we have a lot of hard water, a lot of funky stuff in the water, and this little key here, as you can see, you can unscrew it. Now, the way that this comes off with this key, it's considered kind of an upscale feature. You know, a lot of the other cheaper brands have you just with your finger, you just kind of loosen it up. So for those of you who've never seen this, it's kind of for your benefit. So see, there's a little screen. That little screen there, if this faucet was used, would have some grit. And if you get enough grit in there and solids, it'll actually affect the way the faucet flows. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. You know, basically just screw that back in after you flush it out. Turn the faucet on, flush it out, and retighten. Now always start with hand tightening first, right, and then you can use your key. Anyway, we'll get into that a little bit later. So that's this deal here. Like I said, the more modern ones have they're separated. Now I do have to point out that this faucet it's a metal outside, and it does have a little bit of plastic inside, and that's part of how the manufacturers can get the price down, right? Less metals, more plastic equals a lower price. Although I would say this is probably a mid price point faucet, honestly. Okay, but these are basically the handles. There's some stems in here. Fresh smell of new faucet, so awesome. So this unit comes with a tub filler as well. Now this is the actual valve part. Okay. Now look, this is not a class on how to operate this stuff and whatnot, but basically this is the actual component that turns the water on and off. Okay, and it gets attached. Part of this is under your sink, and the other part sticks out, and then you connect. Kind of screw this part onto that, and you're good. You know, you're good to go. So this has a feature called the water sense. It's water sense rated, and it basically has a flow feature that it helps you conserve water. It does come in a few other finishes. It comes in the brushed nickel, in chrome, and Mediterranean bronze, which is kind of an oil rub bronze. Pretty cool little faucet. You can actually shop it around by searching the model number that we posted on here. So this is what she looks like installed on a sink, on a vanity sink. This case, it's a porcelain. Get this off the table. So, you know, it gives you a nice higher end look without the crazy expense. So it's kind of good looking faucet. What do you guys think? You guys like the look of this faucet? This is the same faucet on top of a different countertop. You know, you can really dress this faucet up pretty nice. It could be transitional. It could be a little bit more modern. In this case, it looks almost like a kind of a classic look, right? With the wall sconces and stuff. So, cool little deal. Moen, it's been around since 1937. They claim to be the #1 faucet brand in North America. That may or may not be true, but it's a well-known, well-established brand. That is for sure. So for the Caldwell faucet, my rating, thumbs up or thumbs down, it's got to be thumbs up. I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a value faucet. It's probably one of the. So if you're looking at a good, better, best model, it would definitely be at an entry level, at the first stage. So let's talk about some faucets that would be kind of like the next tier of price point, really. Kohler, the Kohler brand. I gotta say that over the last 5 years, Kohler has put together a very impressive lineup of plumbing fixtures. In this image here, we've got a blue faucet, a blue background, but a kitchen faucet, and it represents the new line that Kohler's come up with. Pretty exciting. It comes in either a 3-hole or a single hole setup. And here's the model number, the K780. You always know when it's a Kohler product because it starts with a K, the serial numbers. 3/8 connection, pretty standard for a kitchen faucet connection. So the dock, Nicket magnet dock. So what that is, the magnetic dock is basically a magnet that's on the tip of the faucet, this connection here. And what happens is if the faucet is not quite locked in, that magnet will help it pop into place and look nice. It kind of goes to its normal standby position. It does come with a nylon hose. It has a quiet operation when you pull the faucet out. We've got one here. We're going to unbox it here in a second. And it comes in various colors, but comes in chrome, a stainless steel, and an oil rub bronze. We've actually installed this in a couple of kitchens. So this is for the 3-hole setup. It comes with that little base plate that you can use to cover holes. Now, if you're installing this in a granite or quartz steel, like in this picture, a single hole would be totally nice, totally fine. This is a side profile of it. Has real nice lines. I think you can dress it up well with your selection in cabinets and in countertops surfaces. A little background for Kohler. Been around for a long time, 1873. It's a United States company. And they definitely Kohler has a very nice lineup of good, better, best. Probably Kohler setup is their, if you were to look at the way that the products skew, I think it would be mid-grade and then some higher end products, but definitely not like Newport brass high end. And I'll show you what a Newport brass faucet looks like in this presentation. So let's talk a little bit about current news from Kohler. They had a big fire in Wisconsin in their factory, and that caused major delays for contractors like us all over the country because you couldn't get their products, particularly their sinks. They have a cast iron, I think this is a cast iron factory where the cast iron sinks are made, and man, you could not get cast iron Kohler sinks for a long time. And they have a great farmhouse sink. If you guys are thinking about a farmhouse sink, you should really consider the Kohler faucet. So before we go to the rating, let's unbox this beauty. So this is the cover plate. For those of you who don't know, you don't need to install this, okay? This is a cover plate, and it is metal. It's got the basic or very common plastic base. This is to keep the water from leaking under your sink. It's a very common deal there. So to not be able to put things back today. Hey, you guys have any questions out there? Please post them. Brian will read them to me while we're going through this faucet. So notice this is the nylon line, and this is part of what keeps this faucet operating so quietly. So let's actuate it a little bit so you can see what the deal is. So I definitely like faucets that have this feature, and then this one has a different spray feature, but this nylon hose definitely keeps the noise down. Now I could feel that magnet. Let's see, I'll just do this kind of gently, and granted this doesn't have the weight that it would have because I'm just holding it up, but you see how there's just a little bit of a magnet that holds that in place. Pretty cool faucet, definitely something I would use in my house. Real good quality. I always look at this as kind of a means to see if I like the faucet. So there's one thing to like the way the faucet looks, right? And then there's another thing to like how the faucet functions, the smoothness of the operation. The better the components inside, the smoother this operation feels. And you can almost see like the real cheap faucets. It's almost kind of a grainy sensation when you're operating the faucet. Hot, cold, and then this is the water flow. So think about that when you're at the store shopping for a faucet. Go ahead and play with them and see if you like the operation, how smooth they are, or they're not. It's something that's going to get used a lot, so you kind of want to be pretty sure that what you're getting is what you want. Pretty simple faucet. These are this is the hardware to install. Not a whole lot to it. These other hoses go connected to the water lines, and that's kind of it. So for the Kohler Cruette, I'm probably butchering that name. I've sold a ton of those faucets, and I've never had any of them come back with any complaints. So it's definitely a thumbs up. Definitely a thumbs up for the Kohler Cruette. So listen, we got to take a little show. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. So don't go away. I've got some more faucet talk.
The kitchen you want today from Bay Cities Construction in the Southern California and Los Angeles area. There is no better company who takes time out of the equation to get you a detailed plan of what your new kitchen will look like. Get your design plans done, your interior design plans done, and entire project scope done right now. Get your finished kitchen in 90 days or less. We are the best in the Los Angeles and Southern California area, and there's no need to shop anywhere else. Just get started with Bay Cities Construction. Go to baycitiesconstruction.com. That's baycitiesconstruction.com. Looking for a bathroom remodel in the Southern California and Los Angeles area? If you've shopped and you've looked at prices and have no clue where to start, let Bay Cities Construction get you started with a quote of get design, interior design, project scope, and know exactly what it will cost to get your bathroom remodeled. There is no guesswork and no need to shop around. Just take time out of the equation and get your new bathroom in 90 days. Get your estimate now at baycitiesconstruction.com. That's baycitiesconstruction.com.
Hey folks, we're back. For those of you that are catching us mid-show, Alex with Bay Cities Construction, we're going over some faucets. We're reviewing some faucets and unboxing them. Now I'm going to go over how to choose the right faucet and what to look for when selecting your kitchen faucet. So I always tell folks to avoid the real cheap plastic faucets at all costs. You think you're getting a deal. You think you're getting a bargain because all of the other faucets on there are like $100 plus. And then you see these faucets that are like $40, $60. And they're typically at the Home Depot or at the Lowe's. And you just can't believe that it's such an amazing deal. Well, it's not an amazing deal. You're paying less, but you're getting less. In the case of this faucet has been probably in production for maybe 25 years. And it's probably the most commonly used faucet in most apartment buildings. It's under like $50, okay? It is pretty much all plastic, okay? And it's a super inexpensive faucet, and it's cheap, and it's made out of plastic. So it isn't It isn't that it's a great deal. It's just not expensive because it doesn't have a lot of metal in it. So this is definitely probably a mid-grade faucet. It looks like a Kohler to me. But I do want to say that in the long run, this plastic faucet will cost you more because you'll have to pay a plumber to come back out, unless you do it yourself, obviously. But you have to pay a plumber to come back out and install a few of these over the years because they'll break. And the nozzles break, the handles will break, and the water flies out and goes 7 feet in the air. It's a big old mess. So I would say if you've got the courage to install this faucet or have it installed at one of your units, you should have very good shut-off valves underneath the sink so you can shut the water off when this bad boy blows, okay? And hope that there's somebody home. So some of the really cool features that are modern and probably been trending over the last 5 years are these multifunction faucets that have the face that comes out. The Kohler was one example. There's dozens of these in the marketplace now, and they are very good, very functional. You can deal with big pots and be able to hose your sink down. It's a pretty cool setup. The side, what this replaced is the old school one that's off to the side, and that you had to install and make another hole in the granite. So right now the trend is that you have a solid surface, whether it's quartz or marble, and then you have as little holes as not very many holes, not a bunch of stuff on the kitchen sink other than the hookup to the garbage disposal, the aerator to the garbage disposal. So, the aerator to the dishwasher that's hooked up to the dishwasher on the garbage disposal. Anyway, sidebar. This is the more common multifunction faucet that's trending now, and a version of this is a good choice for you. Avoid finishes. Some people love the black finish. Just remember, if you have hard water, this is going to be a hard faucet to keep clean, particularly around the bases. Some of you that may not bother you. You may be clean freaks anyway, and you're cleaning it all the time. But a darker faucet will show watermarks a lot easier than just about any of the other finishes. Even the chrome. Chrome does show fingerprints and stuff like that, but the black shows a lot too. So I would say avoid the black faucets. Okay, choose the right faucet. Consider other finishes. The new nickels, the brushed nickels, are really pretty cool. And for those of you that like a little bling, the brass versions, I never thought I'd be saying this, but some of them look really nice. They look like gold, and if you're blingy like that, you may consider that. We installed one of these at one of our projects, one of our recent projects. We'll be posting some pictures of that shortly. But it's kind of a brush finish. It's a brushed brass, a version, and there's a bunch of different trade names, champagne, and a bunch of other different names on it. Newport Brass makes some very nice faucets in this finish. They look really cool. There's some really nice brushed nickel and polished nickel. Don't have any examples of those posted for you now, but those finishes, they're relatively new over the last few years, and I think some of the new manufacturers are coming up with some very exciting stuff. I'm very excited to go to the K-Biz show, the Kitchen and Bathroom show, happening in Vegas in the spring. So we're definitely going to be attending that. So it's a really cool show to go to. And that's when we get to see the newest, latest, and greatest stuff from all the manufacturers. So consider that. Consider your finish. Consider how your family will use it, what kind of functions you're looking for, and try and stay away from the real low-cost faucets. You may regret it later. Do we have any questions?
We do.
Let's hit me with the questions.
All right. Our first question from one of our viewers is, any brands you should avoid?
Oh, I don't know if I want to say. I would say avoid not the brand, but the price point. Avoid for like kitchen faucets. Avoid price points under $100. In fact, I think that's kind of a. If you, I would apply that to all the faucets, whether it's especially if it's a shower faucet. Avoid anything under $300. If it's a sink faucet, avoid anything over 100 for sure. Preferably find something that you like between $270 and $500. Something in that price point should be good.
Another question, I guess, since we're talking about price, is how much should I expect to spend on a faucet?
I think a mid-price point faucet. Okay, so let's go good, better, best, right? So good is the first price point. I think you probably for kitchen faucets should be around $200 to $300. A mid-grade, which would be a better, would be somewhere between $400 and $500. And then a best, if you like the bling and the special colors and all that, that'll be for sure $500 plus. Could be $500, could be even $1,000 if you get into the Newport brass stuff. So those are kind of the three price points for kitchen faucets.
Another question is, what's your favorite finish?
You know, I really like the polished nickel. Probably not the best finish if you're worried about fingerprints, but there's something really cool about it that I dig. It's kind of like almost like if you guys Google black chrome, it has that kind of a look. It's a pretty neat finish, particularly the Kohler. The Kohler polished nickel has a really cool look, and I'm dying to use that. There's a particular faucet that I'm dying to use at a job, but I haven't been able to find somebody that likes it enough to do it, because you got to understand that a lot of our customers like to go with something safe. They like to go with something that they feel they'll like over a long period of time, and many people are a little bit scared of the brass stuff, the brush brass or gold. Because of that reason, they feel it's going to be dated like in the 80s. We haven't seen brass since the 80s, and it's been about 33 years. So for me, I would like the polished nickel. That's my favorite.
Another question from one of our viewers is, do you recommend a particular store for faucets?
Yes, I love going to Ferguson's. Ferguson's in Redondo Beach, Ferguson's in Santa Monica. If you don't have an account there, there's a lot of people that complain about the service because they're really set up to work with contractors. So for instance, when you hire us to do a project for you, we will actually go with you. One of our representatives, one of our designers will go with you to Ferguson's and help you pick out all of your plumbing fixtures. You're not there by yourself, but we make an appointment. So the reason I think most people have a complaint about, not a complaint, but a gripe or it's not really set up for them by themselves. They'll go like on a weekend and they'll try and get service, and pretty much everybody's booked. And they're not like a Home Depot. They're really designed to make an appointment and kind of come in and out in an hour and a half and pick out all your stuff, whether you're buying appliances from them or plumbing fixtures. So I like Ferguson's. We'll book a meeting with you. It'll be an hour and a half. You don't have to wait. You walk right in. You start picking out your stuff. You go out and you're done. You get a list of everything you picked out shortly thereafter, and it'll be incorporated into your price. But yeah, Ferguson's good.
Another question is, smart faucets, the ones that have touch-free sensors, do you think they're worth it?
I always worry, right? I mean, like the more electronic components you have, the higher the likelihood of having a warranty claim. So I'm not 100% sold on them yet, but to be honest with you, I haven't installed them for that reason. I'm not comfortable with the development of the technology yet that it could last a long time. See, we design projects and we built the projects to last 10, 15 years plus. We try and do it the best we can, so we don't want to have any warranty claims. So we haven't used those yet. And to be honest with you, they haven't taken off like I think the manufacturers would hope they would have. I mean, you're not taking that much convenience away by tapping on or hovering under the faucet. I don't think it's there yet. And I think the first few that they came out with maybe weren't as aesthetically pleasing as the others. They didn't roll out like very popular design plans and then put that that touchless feature on it. They basically made a faucet, made it touch featured, and the problem is that you don't know if it didn't sell because of the touch feature, or the touchless feature, or because the faucet was just not well received, the design of the faucet. So hard to say. I haven't installed very many of them. I can't really say anything negative about them because I don't have anything negative to say. Just the concerns that probably you're feeling, which is that you buy the faucet and 2 or 3 years later it starts malfunctioning and then you got to replace it. So, yeah.
Another question is, do I need a plumber for professional installation, or can I do it myself?
You can do it yourself. If you want to burn a good part of 6 hours of your weekend, I'd always have a plumber do it. Plumbing's just a hassle. You have to have these special tools and be able to get around, and to be able to get around the garbage disposal, typically you have to take apart and remove the garbage disposal so you can get up there. Most sink cabinets don't have enough space to work on the faucet without taking a bunch of stuff apart. I'd totally and happily pay a plumber to do that if I were you.
Another question of yours asking, what's your favorite faucet brand?
I like Kohler. I like the Mirabelle line, also made by Ferguson. We build a lot of mid-grade bathrooms. We definitely do high-end bathrooms, and we'll do some economy bathrooms. But I would say like 85% of our business is mid-grade bathrooms, mid-grade price point bathrooms, and the Kohlers have a very substantial product line in that mid price point category. So I like them, and they look nice, they work really good, and they last a long time. So I like Kohler.
Another question, I think the viewers like the Newport Brass faucet. They're asking, where do you buy Newport Brass?
Man, Newport Brass is a really cool California company. If you can, you don't think of California as a manufacturer, but Newport Brass is made here in California, and it's one of those lifetime faucets. Like if you think of like a Rolex as a lifetime type of a wristwatch, the Newport Brass is a lifetime faucet. I've seen faucets that have been installed 20 years, made by Newport Brass, and they still look good. They function smooth. The reason people replace them is just because they're changing the look of the bathroom, but it's a really nice, well-made product for sure.
And one last question, I think it's also about Newport Brass, is how much can you expect to pay for a Newport Brass faucet?
Well, that's kind of a tricky question, but I would say probably for a kitchen faucet, it's definitely over $1,000. For faucet, like a vanity faucet, probably in the $500 to $700 range. It's about 40% more than a mid-grade faucet, and you could argue that it'll last twice as long, so, or more. And if you were to compare like kind of like a starter faucet, if you will, like a $150 faucet, you'll probably go through 4 or 5 of those before you have to replace the equivalent use faucet, Newport Brass. So the finishes stay in really good shape too over a long period of time. The cheaper faucets normally, some of them will leak, sure, but the finish deteriorates a lot faster on them. They look raggedy after a few years, after 2 or 3 years. After 5 years, they look really banged up, and it's just normal exposure to the elements, to the water, right? We have hard water here in California. It's a rough deal. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, another question from our viewer is, do you recommend American Standard?
American Standard is a very popular entry-level brand, and they actually came up with a kind of a higher-end line that, well, it's not higher-end like Newport Brass high-end, but it's I would say it's starting to be a mid-tier. They have quite a few new products in the mid-tier price point, and they certainly make some nice products.
And one last question is, I think one of our viewers knows you very well. They're asking, will you ever work on a kitchen with black plumbing fixtures?
I'll put in there whatever they want, but I'll have a little bit of silent protest to it. It's just I've seen black. I've installed like a black slate bathroom, and it looked really cool the week that we installed it, and then it didn't look really cool 9 months later with all the water stains, and we sealed the crap out of it. So I'm all about trying to make sure we put in products in there that look great. Like I've had bathrooms, kitchens and bathrooms that I've gone in 7, 8, 9 years after we installed them, and a lot of them look really good. They look like they've had medium kind of grade wear on them, and it's because of I mean, partially a lot of it has to do with people take care of it, but the durability of the products, when you invest in some good stuff, it looks good for a long time.
One last question is, how can you make sure your faucets last a long time?
So there's a few things you can do. You have to be very cognizant of the cleaners you use on them. Some cleaners are very abrasive. If you have a soft water system installed in your house, or a filtering system, those are all good means to help prolong the finish of the faucet. And then if you want to really protect the system, the plumbing system, you install a pressure regulator for water pressure regulator at the coming in from the municipal line, and what that'll do is it'll protect your pipes from these crazy pressure fluctuations that the municipal water lines have. And if you have plumbing that's aged, this exposure to the pressure, it's like having high blood pressure. Eventually something will rupture. So those are really good investments to keep your water system tip top.
Okay.
Hey folks, so if you want to learn more, we've got an amazing blog library for you for all things kitchen, bathroom remodeling, and construction. We have tons of articles about surfaces and all that. And please, I would love to have your feedback. Did you like this format of the show where we review products? We're gonna post it. I'd love to see your feedback. We want to do more of these. We're working with some really cool materials, and we want to get the word out so that folks know what's available to them when they're considering their next remodel. So for those of you who don't know us, I've been in business 15 years, and we do kitchen bathroom remodels. We're a full service team. We'll put together architectural engineering for you. If you need to move walls and make your kitchen bigger, we'll represent you with the city. We'll manage the project for you. Been around for quite some time. That's our license number up above, and that's me and my project manager, Steve Moen. For those of you that want to learn more, please tune in on Tuesdays. We put in a Facebook Live show every week, and we are here to answer your questions and make sure that we are a good participant in the construction community. If you want to get a hold of us, please call me. My number here on the board. My offices are in Torrance, and my name's Alex with Bay Cities Construction. I want to thank you for being part of the show, for participating in the show, for those of you that ask your questions. And remember, you don't need a contractor. You need a team of pros.
Kitchen you want today from Bay Cities Construction in the Southern California and Los Angeles area. There is no better company who takes time out of the equation to get you a detailed plan of what your new kitchen will look like. Get your design plans done, your interior design plans done, and entire project scope done right now. Get your finished kitchen in 90 days or less. We are the best in the Los Angeles and Southern California area, and there's no need to shop anywhere else. Just get started with Bay Cities Construction. Go to baycitiesconstruction.com. That's baycitiesconstruction.com.
Hey guys, welcome back. As always, I always have a little bit of something extra. For Mary and Lydia, I want to thank you for watching us live. For the rest of you that stuck around for a special offer, and I didn't announce it, but I always put a special offer. If you call me before Labor Day, I'll design your kitchen for $350. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. Okay, I'll design your kitchen or bathroom for $350. Every once in a while I do something crazy like this, and we normally charge $1,800 for this service. But if you watch the show, I want to give people an incentive to watch the show, be part of the show, and participate. And this is one of them. This is not open to the public, so you gotta give the keyword when you send in. You gotta send me your email So email me at alex@baycitiesconstruction.com. The Labor Day deal, and type in the description box or the subject line, Alex is crazy for $350 offer. Alex is crazy for $350. Put that in the subject line, and I will have one of my team members design a beautiful kitchen or bathroom for you for $350. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. All right? Well, see you next week. Thanks for watching. My name's Alex with Bay Cities Construction. See you next week. Bye.
My name's Alex Rodriguez reminding you, you don't need a contract. You need a team of pros.